Kansas is at TCU. Kansas, they look bad early. They did not look good early in this game, CJ. But they outscored TCU 41-26 in the final 20 minutes. Hunter Dickinson had 16 points, 5 Jayhawks scoring double figures, and you look up and Kansas is 14-4. I want to go beyond the game. Has Kansas showed you something the last couple of weeks that's leading you to believe that perhaps they're accelerating as a ball club?
They're starting to find a little bit of an identity, and they're leaning into their defense. Shaquille Moore going into the starting lineup has been a big part of that, and they're starting to, like tonight, they were keeping Hunter Dickinson basically under the basket, and him and Flory were switching stuff. If his man went out to the perimeter, Flory stayed out there, and he took Flory's guy that was going down low. So they're starting to figure out a way how to succeed defensively. Their defense led to offense a lot of times tonight. They're hitting the offensive glass harder because they're not a great shooting team. So they're kind of starting to find an identity a little bit. But the key is still going to be, like, are those transfers going to come on? And finally tonight, AJ Storr showed a little bit of life. He played hard. He got some steals. He got some hustle buckets. It was his best game as a Jayhawk, and that's why they have to feel decent about how it went tonight, because they finally got something from him. And if he can be a contributor, then the changes the calculus. Like if he can give you something, their ceiling raises. But they're still a team. They've been kind of searching for an identity here for months, and I think that's the big difference in the last couple of weeks is they're maybe finally starting to kind of figure out, okay, here's what we can be good at.
Yeah, I think Bill Self's in an interesting spot, because I think he's still searching for that rotation and personnel grouping that he feels like he can really lean on. But the issue is that every personnel grouping has some sort of trade-off, right? I mean, if you go 4 guards, you're much lighter defensively, but you may be a little bit better offensively. If you go with a Dickinson-Badunga pairing, you may give up some spacing offensively, but you're definitely, I think, more athletic and more stout defensively. But that final 8 minutes of the first half, when they got back into this game, Self just rode with the group he had on the floor, and it was Harris, it was Mayo, it was Griffin, it was Badunga, and it was Dickinson. And so this team has proven that they can be elite defensively, and I think they need to lean into that. I think to me, Badunga, just for however many minutes you can keep him out there without him getting in foul trouble, that dude needs to play. And he's so important because he fortifies the defense. Another 4 blocks tonight for him. He can switch out onto the perimeter and hold his own. And then offensively, like, although he takes spacing away, like, he generates second chance opportunities. And he had another 3 offensive rebounds tonight. So I just think he's so impactful. He's continued to kind of creep his way into the rotation. I know KJ Adams being out helps that. But even when KJ Adams returns, like, you already got a guy that's a non-spacer. Like, why not? And I love KJ Adams. I love what he brings to the table. Why not lean on the guy that's got a little bit more size, a little bit more impact around the rim defensively as a rim protector? I'm curious to see who they go with moving forward, because, like, you lean on those 4, Harris, Mayo, Badunga, and Dickinson, and then that 5th spot is just who's got it going that game. All right, as a Storr, let's ride with them. Is it Griffin? Let's ride with them. Is it Shaq Moore? Let's ride with them. Coit, let's ride with them. Like, that's I think the way it's got to go for Kansas moving forward.
And I think Badunga being out there helps Dickinson in some ways. They can benefit off of each other in ways that
he's always played with another big. Dickinson has played 7 years of college basketball, and he has never played without another big on the floor with them. It's incredible.
It is, but look at their combined numbers tonight. They go for a combined 26 and 19 with 5 assists. Saturday night, we find out. If Kansas has turned a corner. Because if you haven't checked, Houston only allowed 36 points tonight to Utah. That is just plain 1930s type ugly. But that's how Houston's going to take you out. into the parking lot. They're just going to beat the tar out of you. And we'll see at Allen Fieldhouse what happens on Saturday night. That is a huge game in the Big 12. Now to our